Have you ever achieved a goal and felt a bit of emptiness and a sense of, now what? Alternatively, have you been in a situation trying to get to a goal and then feeling like you want the process to be over? In this video, we are thinking about a life worth living both before goals are achieved and after goals are achieved. We will look at 5 areas. The things that cost little but give much. Enjoyment in the process. Time with others. Day-to-day basics. Creating the habits. The things that cost little but give much. The things that give people meaning in their lives include, but is not limited to, their own interests as well as their interactions with others. One of the easiest ways we can form a helpful habit is once a week tell someone we care about something we think is good about them. That could be on a call, via a text, social media, or face-to-face. When we speak positively about others, it is one of the many friendship and relationship building tools. When people are treated well, they are more likely to treat others well than if they are not well treated, assuming other factors like trauma are not in the mix. By taking the time to do that, you show others what you value about them. People like to copy good ideas, and so in building that up as a habit over time, you may find sometimes you get other people tell you something good about yourself. Complimenting others is one area of contributing to emotional health in others, just as when you are complimented, it can be a positive contribution to your own emotional health. Whilst this can be a good practice, don't turn this into a compliment fishing exercise where you are just saying something nice to someone just because you want them to say something nice back. Otherwise, you might find yourself disappointed or feeling dependent on that validation. Instead, view this as one smaller thing of a much larger part of building good friendships. Another idea could be going on a walk with a friend. Most places you walk can either be low cost or free. The great thing about this is you end up having someone you can spend time with. If both of you build up a habit of meeting up, it is a great way to add some enjoyment into your life. It doesn't have to be a 3-hour hike either. Even 1 hour once a week can add something enjoyable to your life. A third idea could be arranging a phone call with a friend. Whilst this isn't the same as meeting up with someone, it is something that can work on a much smaller budget, assuming you already have your phone and pay monthly calls already. The advantage of this is it is inexpensive, whilst at the same time is less isolating than scrolling through socials and sending messages on there. Enjoyment in the process. A great movie that illustrated this point well from years ago was a movie called Click, where a guy is given a remote and he had the choice to fast forward different events in his life. After a while, what would happen is the remote would save his preferences and then do it automatically. By the end of the film, he had fast forwarded to a promotion at work. In doing so, he had not experienced most of his life. His family had fallen apart. He got all the hard work his boss previously had whilst his boss started getting loads of enjoyment out of life. The key idea with the film was actually the important bit. How you get there is nearly everything. The promotion was a small part of the main character's life. Most of it was all the things leading up to that, including the good times and the bad. It was all important, including the time after the promotion. For ourselves, when we are working towards something, we should give ourselves small moments of reflection. Has there been some enjoyment in trying something new? Has the difficulty of something produced in us something we didn't have before? We can also find things to enjoy which are not going to upset the pursuit of our goals. Where are the good things in the difficult process? One way we can get more enjoyment out of things is to have a thankfulness practice. If every day we try and think of something we are thankful for, we focus our minds on good elements as part of the progress towards the goal. Another part of this, which goes along with thankfulness, is celebration. Depending on what you are aiming for, considering the tightness of budgets for many, it might not be possible to do something big, but is there something worth celebrating? Can you do something fun, even if it doesn't cost loads of money? The truth is you can. Even something as simple as having a creative time where you make different types of paper airplanes could add some light-hearted fun into the mix, which you otherwise wouldn't do. Time with others. Spending time with the right people has great benefits. Setting a habit of seeing others can dramatically improve mental health when compared to long-term isolation. Some ideas for food and drink places to meet up could include coffee shops, pubs, cafes, restaurants. There are other places for hobbies and interests. Some examples could be swimming, archery, gym, chess club, sports like badminton, jogging. When you make the habit to regularly arrange something with someone, some things could be more expensive than others, so budget considerations will need to be factored in. Day-to-day basics. Some of these things may seem obvious, but not everyone finds them easy, and a good day-to-day routine can massively add enjoyment into your life. Getting up and getting clean is something that is fairly fundamental, but if that is difficult for someone, then achieving those things is a great start. Ensuring your daily routine includes being in light is another win that can really help. We need the light from the sun as part of functioning well. In the winter times, if that is not possible, then it could be worth getting a 10,000 lux light as something which might help some people. For the day-to-day routines you have, even if they are not really interesting, like tidying up or doing laundry, that they are contributing to a better life. There could be a big difference between a routine that detracts from other enjoyable things in your life versus one that facilitates it. It is highly helpful in social circles to have clean clothes, so doing laundry makes sense as an important habit to have. However, having a spice rack where every spice is in alphabetical order may not be needed quite so much. So is the time investment worth it? For all the people that see great value in alphabetizing their spice rack, are there other areas where time could be saved and it wouldn't have too big an impact on your day-to-day life? In having good day-to-day habits, there could be habits you will want to keep, habits you will want to change, habits that you will want to create as part of improving your own life. Creating the habits. In order to create habits, there are 3 things we need: the habit itself, keeping going, when we fail, trying again as soon as possible. If you do not have a habit that you are trying to instill in your life, then the good habit you want won't automatically embed. New habits can be very hard to embed. One of the most powerful tools with new habits is association. When you associate the new habit with something that is existing, then it makes it easier to embed. Let's say you wanted to include thinking about something you were thankful for. You could try adding it as a new practice to stop and to think of something. This can be done, but it is harder to do. However, let's say every morning you eat breakfast. When you eat breakfast, you add on thinking about something that you are thankful for. Then you are not creating a new routine, but adding to the existing one. It can be far easier to do it that way. This may not be possible if you already have a lot going on in that part of your daily routine. The next thing to think about is to keep going. Sometimes with a new habit, it can be hard to want to keep going with it. It can feel easier not to do it. If it is something important to you, then keep in mind the benefit you want to get from it and keep doing it even when you don't feel like it. When we fail, trying again as soon as possible is really important. There are times we might forget and remember the next day. Maybe times we felt a bit lazy and didn't do it. We don't want to let ourselves feel guilty about it and let that discourage us from attempting again. Instead, we want to be determined to try the new habit at the next available opportunity. By doing this, it stops it from being like we are back at square one. Instead, even if we have days where we fail to keep going with the habit, getting more used to it over time means less failed days, less often. Then we get the experience from the momentum of improvement until the new habit gets embedded in our routine. As I have changed and created habits to make my life enjoyable, you can do the same as you improve your own habits. Birds of a feather, we grow together.